So the example question asked how we can type in a word, like for instance the word orange, and have column B right next to it give us back a number. So the first thing that I would do is somewhere else in the document, probably on a new sheet, I'm going to create a new sheet where I'm going to set up a table of those colors and their associated numbers. So for instance, orange was 100 in the problem example, but I'm going to set up two more colors, blue to be 200 and green to be 300, so that we can see how this works. Now at this point, before I do anything else, it'll make the simplest formula if I go ahead and name this range that I'm working with. So I've highlighted from cells A2 to B4, and I'm going to name this range. It's not necessary to do this. We can reference the address of these cells, but it's a little more clear in our formula if we give it a name. So in this case, I'm going to name it by clicking in the name box right above it. I'm going to type in a name, color table. Now, there are some rules to naming. I can't have any spaces in my name, so you see how I put the two words close together. I also can't start with a number, and I can't name it the name of a cell that already exists or a range that already exists. So I couldn't name this D5, for instance, because D5 is a cell that already exists. I press enter to save that name. Okay, so now I'm going to go to sheet 1, and I have it set up so that I have my colors in column A, and I have the associated number in column B. So I'm looking up on a vertical list of colors, so I'm going to use the Vlookup formula, V for vertical. Now it's important that the value that I'm looking up, the lookup value, exists in the leftmost column of the table that I'm looking it up on. So let's go back to our table and look. Okay, all of our colors are in the leftmost column. That's critical. It won't work if it's on the other side of the numbers. It always must look in the leftmost column. So let's try again. Equals Vlookup. I'm going to choose my lookup value. It's always going to be in cell A2. And if I copy and paste this down, Excel will automatically look in the cells below. So this is set up good. Color table is my table array, and now you can see that since we named that range, it shows up right here in the list of ranges that we can put into our formula. And then it wants a column index number. So even though the columns in Excel are labeled by letters, once we have assigned an array, we can specify the column of that array in terms of numbers or index numbers. So if we put a 1 here, it's just going to look in column, it's going to return back a value that it found in column 1. Essentially, it would look up the word orange on the table, and then it would return the word orange because orange is in column 1. Numbers were in column 2, so we're going to have to type a 2 here, comma. And then the last part of a VLOOKUP, there's only 4 parts to the VLOOKUP. The last part is a little switch that turns an option on and off. This option will allow you to find an approximate match or an exact match. You wouldn't want in this example to find an approximate match to the color orange, because that you don't know what that would do. It would just look up something that was close to it alphabetically in that list and assign unnumbered. You want an exact match, and in most cases you are going to want an exact match with a VLOOKUP. So the word false turns off that option, and a closed parentheses finishes this formula, and there we go. Now if I type in a new color in column A, blue for instance, 200 is automatically put in column B, green, 300, and so forth. I hope that answers your question.